Lance and Rick, fight about stuff!
Go ahead, Rick. Give me your liberal view on this subject.
Well, I pretty much go along with the program that under most reasonable circumstances, and we'll have to argue about reasonable, women should be free to choose whether or not to have an abortion.
Okay, I'm going to be disappointing because I'm very simple on this. I think in the first trimester, it's just a little tadpole. In the last trimester, it's a person. So I think that it should just be illegal in the final trimester and probably a little before that. Frankly, I think what I'm suggesting is a good compromise, because if you look at the fetuses, I mean, if you analyze them, you see them, it's pretty obvious that it goes from being sort of a little fishy creature that's just a few cells all the way up to being something that's somewhat humanish. And you can actually see when that's happening. So I don't know why we can't have a compromise on that.
I pretty much agree with that.
All right.
I mean, first trimester, I mean, it's not even something as sophisticated as like a goldfish.
Right.
And certainly it isn't, you know, as sophisticated as a puppy or a kitten even until like third trimester. But you get these religious arguments, I think, that as soon as it's conceived, you've got this magic bit of divinity or humanness or the soul that's attached to it, and once the soul's attached, then you know, you can't mess with it.
Yeah, I'm going to let you down on that one because unfortunately I'm not conservative enough on this one, because I just don't shed any tears for that little collection of cells. I mean, it doesn't have consciousness. It'll never know. There are so many, it's just not a concern. But what bothers me, frankly, is that your man Obama actually supported partial birth abortion. That's abortion in the 8th, 9th, 7th month. And that's typical of liberals.
Well, oh wait, it's not typical of liberals. I don't know, if some, you know, that's like a case-by-case basis thing. If it's going to kill the mom, if it's in the 7th month, and it's already pretty much a baby, but it's anencephalic, if it's got no brain, or if it's just disastrously...
Nobody wants to kill the mom. I agree with you.
Yeah, but and also if it's like horribly birth defecty, and you don't discover that until 32 weeks in or something.
Okay.
Then, you know,
Okay. I mean, I have to tell you, there's going to be a lot of people out there that were born with deformities and things that are going to be pissed off, though.
well, it depends. I mean, there are deformities, and then there are deformities. There's stuff like, I don't know, frickin', you find out a kid's got Tay-Sachs, which is like tragedy, where the kid lives for 2 years becoming increasingly debilitated. Did you sign on for the 2 years of sadness? And you get to love the kid, and some people will choose to go with that, and some people will be like, no, we'll try again and have somebody who gets to live a life. But I think the whole abortion thing is we have failed to come to any kind of consensus as the American population has failed to come to a consensus about abortion. It's very polarized, and things are going to get crazy when we have to decide about the status of artificial intelligence.
Explain.
Well, I've got a buddy who says that by the year 2100, there may be 1 trillion AIs in the world. And not all of them are going to be super conscious, but some of them might be. And once we figure out how to replicate consciousness, or even if we don't fully figure out how to do that, but build stuff that works, biocircuitry that plugs into your consciousness and may teach itself to be conscious, then we have to decide what kind of rights possibly conscious, very sophisticated information processing entities you know, what kind of rights those things get.
Actually, Rick, don't they, once they attain consciousness, don't they turn on us and try to kill us all?
Yeah, if you're a shitty science fiction, if you're a good science fiction writer 30 years ago, that's legit. Now it's just hack. But the thing is, the most sophisticated forms of consciousness in the next 20, 30, 50, 60 years will be piggyback consciousnesses, where it'll be people plus add-ons, where people will get extra biocircuitry or extra. I mean, already we're starting to outsource some of the computations that used to go on in our heads, like Waze through our apps. Waze tells you how to drive. It tells you turn here, it's shorter here, there's speed trap here. And we just turned it, it takes the work out of thinking, how do I get from A to B most efficiently? And eventually the apps are going to get more and more powerful, more and more indispensable, and more intimately connected to us. Like Google Glass didn't work because people made you look like a turd. And somebody might punch you because Google Glass lets you tape people and people don't know they're being videoed. So you might get socked in San Francisco where people know what Google Glass is and you just look like a douche. But eventually there will be wearable stuff that works with you and helps you process information. And that information processing stuff may get more and more intimate. And eventually, when things get powerful enough and sophisticated enough in their processing, where consciousness is pretty much, in my mind, shared information among a bunch of expert subsystems. And if you look at subsystems as apps, if a thing is running its own apps as it deems appropriate, and sharing information among all the apps, that's pretty close to becoming conscious if there's enough information flowing through that system in a sophisticated enough manner. And then if that sophisticated manner belongs to your robot girlfriend, and you're like some 88-year-old billionaire and you want to, you know, have your robot girlfriend, after you pass away, get like $50 million to use as she sees fit, and then your heirs, your flesh and blood heirs, are like, F that, you know, we want she's a frickin' robot girlfriend. And it's gonna go to court, and then people are gonna have to decide. Is your girlfriend, your robot girlfriend, is she conscious? Just because she's conscious, does she have rights? Can she be thrown in a landfill by your heirs? All that stuff's and we haven't even figured out abortion yet, so that's gonna be crazy.